Tonight, we're crossing animals.
And circling K-pop lore. All Systems Go starts right now. Hello and welcome to episode 5 of All Systems Go. I'm just your regular host, Jenny.
And I'm regularly scheduled Rho. Let's get into it.
5 days ago, on March 10th, we celebrated one of the year's best days, Mario Day. And Mario Day 2023 was one for the books. Nintendo themselves celebrated in style by unveiling a real-life set of Mario's plumber boots. Unfortunately for fans, you can't actually buy the boots as they're a one-of-a-kind prototype. Despite fans being unable to purchase the boots, the prototype was made with the perfect amount of love by Red Wing Shoes, who worked with the film's creative team to bring the animated shoes into the real world. The boots have all the characteristics a guy like Mario would need, including non-slip treads and durable, natural leather. The Mario Boots prototype are currently on display at Nintendo's New York store through the end of April.
If you've been looking forward to E3, then I've got great news for you. After multiple big companies decided not to return for 2023, the fate of the showcase was up in the air. But rest assured, the dates for E3 2023 have been announced at last. Digital content will kick off on Sunday, June 11th, but the in-person component will start June 13th and go through the 16th at the Los Angeles Convention Center. This will be E3's first in-person event since 2019, so make sure to tune in for the latest gamer news.
Are you a fan of movies that are hot steaming piles of garbage? If so, I hope you've got room in your heart for another. 'Cause The Room, or as it's commonly known, the worst movie ever made, is getting a remake. That's right, Better Call Saul star Bob Odenkirk, who plays the main protagonist Johnny, has taken to Twitter to say, "This is real, this is true. And let me tell you, I tried my best to sell every line as honestly as I could. And I had a blast." This feature-length film has been shot mostly on green screen and is not played as a joke. The production company Acting for a Cause is also involved with the film, which means they'll be raising funds for AMFAR, the Foundation for AIDS Research. At least there's one good thing to come out of this remake.
Every puzzle has an answer. For fans of riddles and mysteries, that answer is in the form of a new Professor Layton game. The game, titled Professor Layton and the New World of Steam, will be the first Layton game since 2014, when he and Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney had a crossover. The game was announced last month during Nintendo Direct, but the new trailer wasn't released until earlier this week. The sneak peek begins with Luke Triton's voiceover, which means the fan-favorite boy detective will be making an appearance for the first time since he and Layton split in 2010. The release date has not been announced yet, so make sure to keep an eye out for any more news.
Eat the Rich! Sorry. I meant Eat the Rich, the GameStop saga, has a following movie called Dumb Money. Starring Nick Offerman and Paul Dano, Dumb Money is a David and Goliath tale of how a group of amateur investors took on Wall Street and raised GameStop stock prices for a little while. The film is based on the book The Antisocial Network by Ben Mesrich, telling the story of the GameStop stock market short squeeze of 2021. You can spend your own dumb money to see Dumb Money when it comes to theaters this October 20th.
This past Sunday, the Academy held the 95th Academy Awards, and there were a lot of memorable moments. In case you missed it, Everything Everywhere All at Once basically won every award in sight, taking home a staggering 7 Oscars, including the highly coveted Best Picture. Very well deserved. Everything Everywhere All at Once also walked away with Oscars for directing, actress in a leading role, actress in a supporting role, actor in a supporting role, writing, and editing. And of course, this story couldn't be complete without acknowledging Brendan Fraser's win for actor in a leading role for his part in The Whale. Congratulations to all the nominees and winners of the night. Don't go away, because after the break, we've got some content worth investigating.
All Systems Go. We'll be right back. In this first video, Rho decides to put on their detective hat and tell us all about Poirot. Let's check it out.
Do you like murder mysteries? Gripping plots full of secrets and deceit? A UI so bad it makes Superman 64 look like a modern marvel of engineering? Then wax my mustaches and call me a Belgian, because I have the game for you. Agatha Christie, Hercule Poirot: The First Cases is a fun, albeit occasionally frustrating game that follows Dame Christie's most popular serialized detective, Hercule Poirot. The game has 10 chapters, but there are only 2 cases for you to solve, a tutorial case and the main case, which takes up a majority of the game's runtime. Really milking the S in cases, aren't we, Blazing Griffin? Minor spoilers for the first case ahead. In the tutorial, Poirot, a disgraced beat cop, investigates the disappearance of a diamond bracelet. The bracelet belongs to the Van den Bosch family, specifically to Angeline Van den Bosch. The tutorial introduces you to a number of recurring characters, including Angeline, her mother Cassandra, and Elizabeth Paget, the lady's maid. You'll also meet Fleurette Duval, the prime suspect. Angeline, Cassandra, and Elizabeth can be found around the house, but you could only find poor Fleurette sobbing in the billiard room after being locked in there by Madame Cassandra. Walk around the grounds, find clues, and shove your hand up Angeline's chimney. No, literally. Don't worry, the game devs made sure to turn her character model conveniently toward the window for this task. Eventually, you'll solve the case, except no matter how flawlessly you carry out your deductions, your jerkwad boss will arrest the innocent housemaid. Damn the bourgeoisie! Enter a time skip, and then the real game starts. A few years after carrying out justice worse than the Silicon Valley bank bailout, Poirot receives a letter from Angeline inviting him to A. celebrate her recent engagement, and B. figure out which of her dear loved ones is ruthlessly blackmailing the out of her. Of course, in typical Christie fashion, things take a turn for the worse when one of the guests is found murdered! Add in a snowstorm that prevents anyone from leaving, and you've got a plot, baby. You've also got a mind-numbingly tedious sequence in which you have to slog around in the snow looking for clues. And I mean slog. Running is not a game mechanic under normal circumstances, but in the snow, your already slow walking speed is decimated. And if you don't find all the hidden doodads and clues during the sequence, you're screwed, buddy. I found it! On to the actual gameplay. The mystery-solving system is based on connecting clues in a mind map. It's a decent idea in theory, but it can get frustrating when you've already made the jump to point D, while the game is still forcing you to connect points A and B. Additionally, there are several sequences in the game where you can get full-on stuck. And because there's no save log, if you encounter one of these cute little sons of glitches, you have to restart entirely from the prologue. But minor technical difficulties aside, I love this game. The characters are endearing, the mystery is surprisingly well thought out, and as is a theme in many of Christie's works, capitalism is the real villain at the end of the day. Now that we've solved a murder, it's time to commit one! After the break, we'll join Jared and the cast as they cover all things gaming point of views. ASG will be right back.
All systems go. Here at ASG, we have a very diverse group of people with different perspectives on games. Speaking of perspectives, for today's discussion, we're going to share our thoughts on which perspectives we prefer in video games. First person or third? Let's start with you, Nikki.
I tried to maintain the serious face. I like third-person games more most of the time. First person, I think a lot of times I can feel the limitation of the view, and it me no like it.
Okay. How about you, Nathan?
I like third-person games more, but that's also just because those are the types of games that I play are like Assassin's Creed, Red Dead Redemption 2, just kind of big open world maps that have that kind of different style of combat.
Mm-hmm. How about you?
I'll be the vague one and say, well, it depends. If it's a story-based game, then I think if you're playing a scripted, written character in the narrative, then it should be third person to kind of have that separation. But if it's just like Skyrim, where it's just you but in the story, then first person usually works better.
Interesting. I definitely prefer shooter games, and because of that, I definitely lean heavily towards the first-person perspective, just because it just makes more sense. I've tried playing games like Fortnite where it's third-person, but it's still a shooter. I'm personally not a huge fan of that. It throws me through a loop every time, even though it probably doesn't affect my aim in any sense of the way. I mean, it is what it is.
I actually have a question for you, Darian.
Yeah.
In regards to what you said about the separation between characters. What is your thoughts on games with silent protagonists? Because just using Legend of Zelda just as a franchise, Link doesn't do a whole lot of talking. He doesn't have a whole lot of character to him, but and also he was designed with the idea that anyone can sort of like relate, but at the same time it's still there's still like a character to that instead of it being a blank slate.
I think there's a difference between a silent protagonist that you can project yourself onto and someone who has no backstory, no depth to their character. Like, generally games with a customizable character, you don't really have there's no backstory to that character because it could just be anyone. Whereas The Legend of Zelda, Link he has a lot of personality. Even if he's not talking, he still is a character in the story, and it couldn't just be anyone.
I think with those types of silent protagonists, sort of more like Valve's kind, Gordon Freeman, or like the way Portal works, where the character doesn't, like, they grunt and stuff, but it is still a character that everyone else is interacting with as if you are this person, and I think that does sort of bring you in more. Also, those types of games are puzzle solving from a first-person perspective, like moving things around in Half-Life or using the portal gun in that respect.
And definitely, since those are both shooter games, you need that precision of having that perspective to say, I'm shooting at that spot because I can see it right there, not just I'm going to turn the camera and hope that that's where it goes.
I 100% agree. I also feel like when it comes to third-person perspective games, like being able to like cheat around seeing corners and things, and some games I can see why that would be beneficial, but in most games I just feel like I feel very cheaty. And that kind of brings me to the next question is, how do you feel about games like Minecraft where you can toggle your perspective on how you want to view the game, like being first or third? How do you feel about that?
I have an answer.
Go ahead.
I think it feels gross. Because most of the time a game is designed for one specific one, and they just so happen to let you do the other. Like, I think I'm of the opinion that Bethesda makes a lot of their RPGs with first person more in mind than third person.
Interesting.
Yeah, whereas the opposite is true for something like Red Dead, like Rockstar games, Red Dead and GTA. GTA, the 360 version does not have a first-person perspective unless you're like, you can do it if you're driving. But that was like a feature of the next-gen GTA, which is really funny to me. But something like Red Dead 2 also does that, where it is definitely designed for a third-person perspective. The way the camera moves is very fluid, and it is supposed to be more like you're watching a Western than you are being a cowboy. And however, you can go into first-person perspective, and there's even a way to toggle, like, looking down the sights rather than having that little pointing, aiming reticle. And I think that in those cases, like, it is just what you're going for. Like, maybe you're inside, like, a very enclosed space, and it is just easier to look around going like this rather than kind of like this.
I agree.
I personally think that generally when that feature is implemented, it is because of a failure of the format of the third-person camera. Like, take Super Mario 64. Like, there's a special feature if you look directly up at the ceiling, but in third person, that doesn't work. So you kind of just have to do this awkward way of getting around it so that you can look up by going to first person. And I think it's generally better to suit your game around the format than twisting the format to fit it.
Interesting. Do you guys feel as though that the perspective has any change on the story, or just really quick, do you think it has any change on the story? Like, seeing the person, does it pull you out of the game or no?
Out of the game in a good way.
I think when it's in first person, like that is, I think, very intentional. Again, I'm using like Half-Life 2 as an example.
Okay. What about you, Nikki?
Personally, my...
all right, well, sorry. Unfortunately, that's all the time we have for this discussion today. But coming up after the break, Jenny once again delves into the world of Loonaverse. We'll be right back.
In this next video, Jenny explores the Loonaverse further than we could have ever guessed. Again, let's check it out.
Last time, when I first introduced you to the Loonaverse, I mentioned how the group is split into different subunits. Today, we're going to get into that first unit, Luna 1/3. First, I'll introduce the members. There's Heejin, Hyunjin, Hassel, Yojin, and Vivi. Before they joined together, or as a subunit, they each debuted with their own lore within the universe, except for Vivi, but we'll get there. Before I get into each of their individual lore and how it connects, I'd like to say that each member has a representative color, animal, and shape. So, the first member of Luna 1/3 is Heejin. Her representative color is bright pink, her animal is a rabbit, and her shape is a square. She debuted with Vivid in October of 2016. The music video for Vivid is important to the Loonaverse because Heejin is the first member and remarks how the world is boring without color, and then she fills the world with colors. Another thing to note is that there are 7 rabbits around her and how the house around her fills with colors. Specifically, just the colors of the first 7 members of Luna. This shows that Heejin created the members of Luna, as all the members were represented by colors. Because of the emphasis on the number 7, we can conclude that Heejin only intended to make those first 7 members, which would exclude the members of YYYY. The next member of Luna 1/3 is Hyunjin. Her representative color is yellow, her animal is a cat, and her shape is a square. She debuted with Around You in November of 2016. Around You also released it as a 10-minute film version, which is where we find Heejin. As the music video opens, Hyunjin is seen in her house, writing a letter when she hears a vase break. When she goes to investigate, she discovers a friendship bracelet a cat dropped off for her. As the music video continues, Hyunjin put the letters she wrote in envelopes, but she never delivers them. The music video ends with Hyunjin surrounded by 7 Hyunjins with cat heads, representing the first 7 members of Luna. At the end of the 10-minute film version, after the 7 cat heads, the credits play, and then they pull a Marvel and have a post-credit scene where Heejin's sitting down on a bench, and then Hyunjin sits down on the bench adjacent to her, and then the two make eye contact. This shows that they have a connection and a relationship between the two of them. The next member of Luna 1/3 is Hassel. Her representative color is green, her animal is a white bird, and her shape is a square. Let Me In, her song, debuted in December of 2016. At the beginning of the music video, she enters the bleak landscape of Iceland in a yellow truck. The yellow truck represents Hyunjin, who brought Hassel there on behalf of Heejin in order to spread her color, green, to the edges of the Loonaverse on Earth. A running motif in the lyrics as well as the visuals of Let Me In is the conflicting dichotomy of Hassel's masculine and feminine sides. Her masculine side is dressed in a white bird costume, which is also her representative animal. This dichotomy also parallels Hassel's choice to either stay peacefully ignorant to the Loonaverse or to know the truth of what is happening. Eventually decides to kill the boy side of her, while also learning the truth of the Loonaverse. When she goes to where the boy was, she finds a little white bird. With this, Hassel now enters the stage. The fourth member of Luna technically isn't an official member of Luna 1/3, but she represents the slash between 1 and 3 in Luna 1/3, doesn't have another subunit, and debuted alongside the others, so I still include her with them. That being said, Yojin's color is orange, her animal is a frog, and her shape is a rhombus. Though her representative animal is actually a frog, Yojin is associated with bears, specifically teddy bears. Yojin debuted with Kiss Later in January of 2017. The music video for Kiss Later starts with a dream sequence of Yojin waking up and getting courted by 3 princes who are giving her gifts. But before she can get past the first prince, the frog prince interrupts. Yojin's shocked, and then she actually wakes up in her room. She starts to get up, but the frog prince shows up again, so she faints. The rest of the music is just the frog prince chasing Yojin down for a kiss, and Yojin refusing. The music video ends with Yojin initiating a kiss, but it was later revealed that they didn't actually kiss. Next, the subunit of Luna 1/3 officially debuted. Those members are Heejin, Hyunjin, Hassel, and Vivi. They debuted with the album Love and Live with the title track of the same name. Love and Live is a fun little song about the joy of first love, but the music video has more to it than just 4 high school girls having a fun time at track practice. Something seems off about Vivi. She always runs the exact same splits. She never drinks her juice with the other girls, instead storing it in her locker, and she isn't tired like the other girls after a race, just standing still and expressionless. We learn that Vivi is an android, using a backpack to charge herself. At the climax of the video, Vivi unplugs her backpack, starting a 5-minute countdown till she shuts off. She then takes off for track practice, but once her section of the relay comes, she runs off the track, through a field, and ends up in the suburbs. There, her timer hits 0, the screen flashes the title, her left eye glows, the screen blinks out, and her eye fades, as she bends over, breathing heavily, like the other girls. With this, Vivi is now a human again. Speaking of Vivi, I think it's her time to shine. Vivi's color is pastel pink, her animal is a deer, and her shape is a square. She debuted in April of 2017 with Every Day I Love You. The music video for Every Day I Love You is Vivi's faded memories of her human life before turning into an android. Vivi works at a roller rink where the other 4 girls are seen skating together. Vivi has a crush on this boy there, and she eventually gets to skate with him. At the end of the music video, she turns off the lights in the roller rink and leaves when her phone lights up with a text message saying, "I'll be back tomorrow," from the boy. Alright, so that wraps up my Loonaverse video for today. Next time, I'll continue by talking about Odd Eye Circle, which is the second subunit of Luna. Alright, see you next time. Thank you.
Up next, we'll see which Dreamworks characters have what it takes with Cam and the cast. All systems go, we'll be right back.
Favorite fearless hero? Today we're going to find out. We are going to go through every the Dreamworks movie and come up with a Smash-like fighting game roster with 20 slots with help with some of the cast. Now let's begin with our first movie on the list.
All right, first movie on the list, Ants.
Well, I haven't seen Ants.
I don't remember Ants.
That one movie,
haven't?
forget that exists.
No, it just looks scary to me.
So is anybody vying for an Ants roster?
Because we only have 20 slots.
I like Ants, but like we have better
I
options.
will
passing
take,
up
I will
Ants.
take Ants as an assist trophy.
Okay, fair work. Assist trophy, Ants.
Yeah, second movie, Prince of Egypt.
Oh, Prince of Egypt.
I actually have a very interesting idea for that one. For whoever played Devil May Cry 5, you have V, who doesn't really play the game, but he kind of controls these familiars. Have Moses do that, and he just call God upon his enemies.
He just has like the plagues as his zoning tools.
Exactly.
I feel like it would be kind of funny to have Moses as a fighting game.
I would always play as
So
Moses.
do we
Moses
agree to
was
put
in
Moses
Smash.
on the list?
Rosalina and Luma, but it's Moses and God.
I think we want Moses on there.
That's an interesting pick.
Okay.
Next up, Road to El Dorado.
Road to El Dorado. Again, I do like the idea of them being, you play as both.
Yeah, have Miguel and Tulio as conjoined characters.
So like Pyramithra.
Like Paramithra, like Tom and Jerry and Multiverses.
Yeah.
Like those. They must play together.
You gotta have the taunty mode of like the one dude with the guitar going.
Oh, definitely. Their final smash has to be the giant Jaguar Stone.
Ooh,
I will admit, I have not seen this movie.
I watched it
It's
in
a fun one.
7th grade
It is
in
an
English
extremely
class.
fun one. And the victory theme has to be It's Tough to Be God.
I'm hearing Miguel and Tulio then.
Oh yeah.
What's the next one?
Joseph, King of Dreams.
I don't even know.
Oh my god, it's the same.
Is that a
I'm not familiar.
It's another
is that
religious
a
movie.
Dreamcoat remake?
Yes.
It's a direct-to-video religious movie on...
Okay, pass.
So,
Big
yeah,
pass.
We already got Moses and God.
It's banking
already
off
have
of
that.
the
We need Joseph as
success
well.
of
Next one up, it's the big one. It's the one.
It's the one.
the one, the only.
Shrek.
All characters from Shrek are in this game. It is a Shrek franchise fighting game.
If you had to
Shrek
pick
plays like
one
Bowser.
character from Shrek.
Shrek.
one.
Shrek, of course.
Because, and I know everyone is going to love me when I say this, because Shrek is love and Shrek is life.
Boo.
He also has King K. Rool in this game.
Make him Banjo and Kazooie, and then he's Banjo and Kazooie's Donkey's Kazooie. So just imagine Shrek grabbing Donkey by the neck and just slamming him.
Yeah, I would not like to get tag teamed by Shrek and
Counterpoint,
Donkey.
Donkey is his own character, and his final smash is him calling in his wife.
I like that.
Okay, that's a good one.
I think the Shrek franchise, because you also have, what, like 5, 6 movies at this
So
point?
you want the character to be Shrek the franchise?
Well, I'm saying that this DreamWorks fighting game, it's like Shrek is like the subtitle.
You gotta have like 3 Shrek.
You have to
characters.
market it with Shrek.
So like DreamWorks featuring Shrek.
Essentially.
No, DreamWorks, Shrek and DreamWorks friends.
Yes. Shrek and DreamWorks' friends.
Shrek versus DreamWorks.
So are we going with Shrek or Shrek and Donkey?
Shrek.
Donkey's a
Donkey,
separate character.
And I think we gotta go Princess Fiona.
Yes.
All right.
No,
Next
Farquaad.
movie, Spirit. There's a subtitle. I wrote horse movie.
It's
That's the horse movie? I would play as a horse.
Oh, for
It's
sure.
the dumb horse movie.
No, that sounds awesome. Of course, you play as
There
the
are better
horse.
horse characters.
Yeah.
Next question.
Gimmick characters are what make them
Oh,
fun.
he calls in the eagle. Right.
Guys,
Call
we
it
have
eagle.
20 spots. Do we want a horse?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Can have
And
Then we'll put
imagine that
Spirit on
moveset.
there. Okay, cool.
Write it down horse. Sinbad.
Yeah. We gotta have Sinbad. Oh my god, I forgot.
Sinbad and his ultimate, like you have the Chaos Goddess.
Sinbad,
Eris.
Sinbad is his ultimate is Harris just calling in like the giant monsters
Yeah.
into the
That'd
stage.
be amazing.
Seems like they want Sinbad.
Okay.
So Sinbad's on the roster.
Dude,
You're not even like
I haven't seen
forgotten
Sinbad.
about Sinbad.
I don't know.
Shrek 2.
Again, we have Shrek as human form
Make the
and the fairy godmother.
We now have Puss in
Make the
Boots.
Fairy Godmother DLC. People
ha-
are gonna pay so much for that.
I'm putting
We have
Fairy
Puss in Boots
Godmother.
now, so we
I'll
can add
throw
him.
down human Shrek as Echo Fighter.
Okay.
Yes.
After is Shark Tale.
Are we willing to have Will Smith in our game?
No.
We
I
cannot
would
afford
rather
Will
have
Smith. We're
Lenny.
skipping this one.
Okay.
I would have her have like.
Next we have
Madagascar.
Madagascar.
Madagascar. I think all 4. That's another DLC. The Madagascar DLC where you
What
get to play
about
as
like
all
a
4.
Pyro
Yeah.
myth? What about like a
Like Pokemon trainer.
trainer, but all 4 of them?
Yeah.
Yes.
I think that would work. I think that'd work for like King Julian and the other 2.
I'm not super.
No, King
think
Julian wouldn't switch. He would just use the other 2 as tools.
Yes.
We gotta
I
keep
don't-
pushing, guys.
I don't think you can make enough of a moveset out of Maurice and Mort to make him a Pokemon trainer style character.
I'm putting the Zoo Crew because they don't have like a name because we gotta keep it pushing.
Yeah.
Wait, how could we forget the penguins?
They have their own movie. Over the Hedge up next.
Okay.
Over the hedge.
I'm okay with skipping over the hedge.
Yeah.
Skip it.
I think the
I love
Exterminator
that
would
movie,
be
but
kind of
it's
cool.
We
fine.
can have the squirrel as an Echo Fighter.
I'm hearing.
No,
I'm
not
hearing
Echo, sorry. That's his
executive
trophy.
decision with the Exterminator.
Exterminator would be kind of rad, I think. I'm going to make an executive decision there.
Flushed away.
Oh.
We can just, if we want to skip this.
Skip.
Yeah.
I'd skip.
Shrek the Third.
Okay, we gotta have more Shrek characters. Like I said before,
King Arthur.
I don't remember Shrek the Third.
That was the thing, King Arthur.
I was gonna say maybe Fiona's mom.
Oh, that's Shrek the Third? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Fiona's mom because of the whole scene with the princesses.
I mean, I'm down for adding moms to any game.
I'm making a personal executive decision. I'm putting the Queen as the Echo Fighter.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm going to just hit off some because we don't have a whole lot of time. Okay, what about How to Train Your Dragon? Who do we want in that?
The dragon, obviously.
Toothless?
You,
Yeah,
you play as Toothless.
Of course.
We got to put Toothless in the Dreamworks fighting game.
We kind of
Toothless piloted by Hiccup as one character.
Also,
That's our duck hunt.
who would we want to put in for Kung Fu Panda?
Oh, well, Poe
Poe.
easily.
Poe?
Easily Poe.
Tigress.
Okay, Poe.
If you want to throw a villain, throw in Tai Lung or Shan.
Probably Tai Lung. No, Tai Lung would play too similar. Put in the Kung Fu Panda 2 one.
Yeah, put in Lord Shan.
I've never seen it.
That's a good one.
The Pika.
The other big one, Boss Baby.
Boss Baby,
Boss Baby.
absolutely
Yeah,
Boss
you
Baby's
had to
in the
put a
game.
Boss Baby.
We have to beat up a child in the game.
We have to have it voiced by Alec Baldwin
Be
again.
either the Villager or the Bowser Jr. of the game.
Yes.
Yes.
How about Crudes? That's on here.
Crudes, skip.
I skipped.
Yeah, I'd skip it.
Crudes 2.
Skip.
Okay, well that just happened. Next time, Jenica and Seth figure out why the animals crossed the road.
Hi, howdy. We're here to steal your time, just like Tom Nook.
We're gonna cross some animals. I don't know, I've never seen them.
I'm Jenica,
And I'm Seth.
and I hope you like Animal Crossing, because I sure do.
We've got a whole lot of animals here to cross.
We've got so many animals to cross.
Might be some new horizons, maybe some old ones.
I prefer the old horizons, thank you very much.
How about turning over an old leaf? What about that?
No, I only turn over new leaves.
You know what? That's fair. Not too sure about this one.
Not my favorite.
Maybe I'll avoid you.
Yeah.
Now what about purple?
They're gonna be so mean. I'd say I'll avoid you. That's Annabelle. She's one of my villagers. Let's meet again. She's snooty, but like
You don't want to be away from them.
I've got a fondness for her in my heart.
They seem like a fun time.
Oh, 100%.
I'm not gonna lie, for me personally, I think this might be the first.
I agree wholeheartedly. Not the marching band jacket.
They remind me of a certain character from My Little Pony.
They look like they peaked in high school.
They look like they're riding off of their parents' money like all the time.
Yeah.
It's not that bad, but like I'll just prefer to stay away.
Yeah. That's Cube. I love Cube. He's lived in my village before.
I'll give you the judgment on that.
Close friends are besties.
I trust it.
Okay. He's a sweetheart.
I don't know about them.
That's a snooty villager for sure. Oh, okay.
Yeah, like
Alrighty.
There's something about him that I'm just not trusting here.
This is Curly. He will call you names, but he will also want to work out with you. He's been mean. You wouldn't expect it looking at him, but he also wants to get ripped with me, so.
Okay.
I think let's meet again.
Okay. Alright. I don't know how I'm feeling about this one.
He looks very mean. I want to say I'm sorry, but I don't know what I've done wrong.
This might be the first one where I'm kinda not wanting them around.
Alright.
Sorry to say. Maybe an unfortunate misunderstanding.
I have met this guy. I think he's lived in my town before. I'm a Derwin fan.
He reminds me of the penguin from Backyardigans.
Pablo?
Like a lot. And I kinda like that.
I think we're close friends.
I can say that, yep. So this person right here. I have one thing that I want to do.
Uh-huh.
Do you agree?
I mean, yeah. She will 100%.
She will frog.
She will frog. Dizzy is one of my best friends.
Is that the mouth right there? Or
Yeah.
it's like either like a mouth or like a gill.
They're an elephant. But
Okay.
Dizzy is genuinely one of my favorite villagers.
So from hearing that, is this a first?
Ooh. I feel like Live With Me should be like reserved for
Final judgments?
Yeah, we can move up to Live With Me for final judgments, but
Gotcha.
Dizzy might be there, honestly. I like that you made a frog category specifically, and there's only one frog in there.
Oh yeah. Don't worry, I totally don't forget my own bits.
This is a snooty for sure.
Very much. They got the same fit as that one there.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if I'm vibing with that.
Yeah, I don't know. There's a look in their eyes that I'm like, I feel like they're judging me.
I kind of get that vibe. Yeah.
He's wearing a Guy Fieri shirt.
He is. And they look like they'd be very positive about things.
Oh, yeah.
Let's meet again, shall we?
Let's meet again. Definitely had this one in my village.
I feel like if you took their clothes, put them onto there, this is just Guy Fieri in Animal Crossing. Like, actually.
Yeah. This is Ellie. Ellie is best friend, I think.
I can already agree with that.
Frog in
Yeah.
frog shirt.
Look, frog with frog. This
Double
is very
frog.
I'm gonna go right at the top of frog.
Right to frog.
That's a frog right there.
That is a frog, if I've ever seen one. This guy I've met for sure. They're like the cool guy, you know?
Yeah.
TM.
I feel like they've got some insecurities going on though.
100%.
But like, they're trying.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a front, but like, they're trying because they want to do something more with themselves.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of commendable.
Yeah. They're gonna get better. They're gonna improve themselves, is what I mean by that.
Let's meet again.
This is Fang. I'm a big Fang fan.
Big Fang fan?
Big Fang fan.
Fang fan, for real.
For real. This one looks startled.
I kind of like it though.
Yeah, no, I'm a big fan.
I really want to like just know everything about them.
They have seen some things. They have seen some things.
I want to put him with close friends. Like, just everything.
Yeah.
Everything
Yeah.
about him. Is that 7-Eleven?
That is that's the 7-Elevens. That's my birthday.
Hang on a minute. Oh my god.
Hey.
They're just actually 7-Eleven. What the?
Hey, huh?
I feel like they made a deal.
I will say I'm not a fan of advertising in my games.
I'll say I don't know them.
I don't know them.
That'll just
but
be
they
my main
are
response.
they are corporate.
So a very well-known one here. And I feel like it's hard to talk about this character without referencing certain memes.
I agree.
Let's just for the bit. Let's just put them there.
For the bit?
Yeah.
For the bit.
Yeah, for the bit.
For the bit.
Then make sure to come back next Wednesday at 9 for all new content.
And don't forget to follow us on TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram for even more us.
I'm Jenica Jenick.
And I'm Rowan Yost. All systems go. Signing off.